What's going on, my people? Welcome back to another episode of the Stop the Count podcast. In this episode, we will be talking about what went down in the UFC over this past weekend. First, we'll get into some news that has recently just been announced. The UFC has announced a planned date to hold a UFC fight night in Paris, France on September the 2nd. Now getting straight into the UFC fight night. The fight night started off great with Philip Lins versus Maxime Grishin. They were really going back and forth, trading bombs until Lins started to control the fight by putting Grishin up against the fence. Lins really didn't attempt a takedown. He did have one takedown for a total of 20 seconds of control time, but Lins was able to pull off the decision victory. The next fight was Damon Blackshear versus Luan Lacerda. This was a really good fight until the second round when Blackshear was able to stop Lacerda with ground shots. Now, Jamie Mullarkey's new opponent was Muhammad Naimov, and on short notice he was able to stop Jamie Mullarkey with a crazy right hand. It was a good fight until the stoppage, and many people think it might have been early, but Jamie wasn't protecting himself. The main card opened up with Abubakarnurmagomedov versus Eliezer Zelensky dos Santos. This was a very tough fight for Abubakar. It just looked as if he wasn't able to do anything. Dos Santos was stopping everything Abubakar was attempting, and Dos Santos was able to pretty much control the action on the feet, and Dos Santos pulled out the split decision victory. A tough loss for Abubakar, but a good win for Dos Santos. The next fight I'll talk about is Tim Elliott versus Victoraltamirano. This was a very good fight, and probably my favorite fight from this card, as there was a lot of action both on the feet and on the ground, with Victor usually getting the best of the action on the feet, but Tim was just destroying him on the ground. And Tim also did get some good shots on the feet as well. Tim was the winner by unanimous decision in a very dominant performance. Also, a big shout out to Jimmiller getting a knockout in 23 seconds. The final fight I'll talk about is the main event, kaikarafrance versus amiralbazi. What a fucking fight this was. It was so close and a true back and forth fight between the two. Say what you want about the decision, but the fight was really close. I too had Kai winning on my card, but it could have gone either way. Now getting into a little bit more of the fight, Kai was really controlling what was happening on their feet, landing elbows and right hands. Even on the ground, Kai did a good job splitting Amir open a little in the third round. But it was in that same round where Amir took Kai's back and controlled it pretty much the whole round, even getting Kai in what looked like a very dangerous rear naked choke. Now, Kai was able to escape it though, and the fourth and fifth rounds were pretty much Kai's rounds in my opinion, as they spent most of their time on their feet with neither really hurting the other, but the judges seen it the other way around. Now, they were really close rounds, but either way, it was a good win for Amir. What stood out to me the most was Kai's groundwork, as I thought Amir would have his way with Kai, but it was a very good showing from Kai. As for who I'd like to see these two fight next, for Amir, I think it's pretty obvious he doesn't deserve a title shot yet, so I think they should put him up against Brandon Royval for the #1 contender spot. And for Kai, this is a very tough loss, but I'd like to see him fight against someone like Alex Perez or Mateus Nicolau. Now, this was such a good fight night, probably the best of the year so far. For the DAZN boxing matches, I'm going to be completely honest, I could care less about the card. There was no way I was going to pay less attention to the UFC fight night to watch this trash ass card. From the little of the main event I did see, Clarissashields was pretty much dominating, really pressuring Cornejo and landing whatever she wanted. Now, she wasn't able to get a stoppage win, but won every single round and obviously won the decision. That will be all for this video. Thank you for staying until the end. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you guys later on this week as we talk about the upcoming great weekend for combat sports. See you then.